There is a white powder that costs less than $1 per load. It removes every stain you have ever fought with. Ketchup, grass, blood, grease from last Tuesday's dinner, all gone before breakfast. It does not fade colors. It does not weaken fabric. It does not leave chemical residue on your children's skin. When it dissolves in water, it breaks down into 3 things: oxygen, water, and soda ash. No toxins, no carcinogens, no fragrance-masking agents. A Russian chemist discovered it in 1899. For over a century, it has been the most effective stain remover ever formulated, and yet most people have never heard its name. Not because it failed, because it worked too well. A powder that removes every stain permanently for less than $1 cannot sustain a $53 billion industry. And what cannot sustain an industry cannot be advertised. This is the story of sodium percarbonate, the $1 powder that the detergent industry buried in plain sight. Welcome to the vault. Before we open this one, if stories like this matter to you, the simplest way to keep this knowledge alive is right in front of you. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with someone who deserves to stop wasting money on products that do not work. Now let us go back to 1899. The year is 1899. In a modest laboratory at the University of Odessa, a chemist named Sebastian Moisevich Tanatar is running an experiment that will change the future of cleaning forever. Tanatar is not a household name. He never will be. But what he creates in that lab will outlast every brand, every jingle, every detergent commercial you have ever seen. He combines 2 substances: sodium carbonate, also known as washing soda, a mineral humans have used for cleaning since ancient Egypt, and hydrogen peroxide, the same liquid your grandmother kept in a brown bottle under the sink. Separately, each is useful but limited. Washing soda softens water and cuts grease, but it cannot touch a set in bloodstain. Hydrogen peroxide bleaches stains, but it is a liquid that degrades quickly and is difficult to store or transport. Tanatar discovers that when you combine them in a precise ratio, 2 parts carbonate to 3 parts peroxide, something extraordinary happens. They form a stable crystalline powder, a powder that sits on a shelf for years without losing potency, a powder that, the moment it touches warm water, releases a controlled burst of active oxygen directly into the fabric. That oxygen does not just loosen stains. It breaks the molecular bonds of organic matter at the chemical level. Ketchup is not pushed away from the fiber. Its molecular structure is dismantled. Grass is not bleached over. Its chlorophyll pigments are oxidized into colorless compounds. Blood, the stain every parent fears, contains hemoglobin, an iron-rich protein that binds to cotton like cement. Active oxygen shatters that bond, not by force, by chemistry. Tanatar publishes his findings in the Berichte der Deutschen Chemischen Gesellschaft, one of the most respected chemistry journals in Europe. The paper is titled simply Percarbonate, 12 pages that should have changed every laundry room on Earth. But here is where the story takes a turn. 8 years later, in 1907, a German company called Henkel launches a product called Persil. Persil is the world's first self-activated laundry detergent, using sodium perborate, a chemical cousin of Tanatar's percarbonate, combined with silicate. The name Persil comes from perborate plus silicate. Henkel does not use percarbonate. They use perborate instead, a less effective but more patentable compound. And that decision, made in a boardroom in Dusseldorf over 100 years ago, set the template for the entire modern detergent industry. Not the best chemistry, the most profitable chemistry. Stay with me because what I am about to show you is the part that should make you furious. Here is what the science actually says. In 2003, researchers published a comprehensive review of oxygen-based bleaching agents in the Royal Society of Chemistry. Their findings were unambiguous. Sodium percarbonate releases 32.5% of its weight as hydrogen peroxide. That is not a small number. That means 1 tablespoon of this powder delivers more active stain-fighting oxygen than an entire cap of most commercial stain removers. Let me put that in perspective. A leading brand name stain remover spray, the one in the purple bottle that costs $8 to $12, contains roughly 3 to 5% hydrogen peroxide diluted in water, surfactants, fragrance, and stabilizers. Sodium percarbonate delivers 6 to 10 times that concentration per gram, in a powder that costs pennies. But the numbers get more interesting. Independent testing shows that a 2-tablespoon solution of sodium percarbonate in warm water removes 7 tomato sauce stains in under 60 minutes. The same stain treated with a premium commercial stain remover required 3 applications and still left a shadow. For grass stains, the percarbonate solution achieved full removal in a 45-minute soak, while the commercial product needed overnight treatment and a second wash cycle. For blood, and this is the one that matters to every parent, the percarbonate soak removed dried blood from white cotton in under 2 hours. The commercial product partially lifted the stain, but recommended replacing the garment. Replacing the garment. A $12 product tells you to throw away the shirt. A $1 powder saves it. Before we continue, I put together a complete guide with exact measurements, water temperatures, soak times, and stain-by-stain instructions for sodium percarbonate. Every technique I mention in this video is in that document. The link is in the description. It costs you nothing. Now back to the numbers the industry does not want you to see. The Environmental Working Group, one of the most rigorous independent health research organizations in America, rates sodium percarbonate between 1 and 2 on their safety scale. 1 means virtually no health concern. 2 means minimal concern. For context, many popular detergent brands contain ingredients rated between 5 and 9 on the same scale. 9 means high concern for cancer, developmental toxicity, or allergenic potential. Your children wear clothes washed in chemicals rated 5 to 9. Sodium percarbonate rates 1 to 2, and it cleans better. That is not an opinion. That is published, peer-reviewed chemistry. The compound breaks down into water, oxygen, and soda ash. Soda ash is sodium carbonate, the same substance found naturally in mineral deposits around the world. There is 0 synthetic residue left on clothing, 0 fragrance chemicals absorbed through your child's skin during an 8-hour sleep cycle, and 0 optical brighteners, those ultraviolet reactive chemicals that do not actually clean your clothes, but trick your eyes into seeing white by making fabric glow under light. Optical brighteners do not remove stains, they mask them. Your clothes are not cleaner, they just look cleaner under specific lighting conditions. Sodium percarbonate does not trick your eyes. It eliminates the stain at the molecular level. When the cycle is done, the stain is not hiding. It is gone. If you have made it this far, you already know more about stain chemistry than 99% of consumers. If you want to keep this knowledge circulating, subscribe and share this video. Every share is one more family that stops paying $12 to be told to throw away a shirt. Now here is the part that should keep you up at night. The global laundry detergent market is worth over $84 billion a year. In the United States alone, families spend nearly $25 billion annually on laundry care products. That is detergents, stain removers, fabric softeners, boosters, pods, sheets, and whatever new format they invent next quarter. The average American household spends roughly $170 per year just on laundry supplies. Now consider this. A 5-pound bag of pure sodium percarbonate costs between $12 and $18 online. That bag contains enough powder for over 200 loads. That is less than 10 cents per load. The leading stain remover spray costs between $8 and $12 and lasts maybe 30 to 40 loads. That is 25 to 35 cents per load, for a product that contains 3 to 5% active ingredient diluted in water and fragrance. You are paying 300% more for 90% less cleaning power. But the economics get even uglier. The top 4 detergent companies, Procter & Gamble, Henkel, Unilever, and Church & Dwight, control the vast majority of the global market. These are not companies that sell cleaning. They sell the illusion of specialized cleaning. They need you to believe that ketchup requires one product, grass requires another, blood requires a third, and general dirtiness requires a fourth. They need you to believe that your baby's clothes need a special gentle formula, your workout clothes need an odor formula, and your whites need a brightening formula. That is not science. That is shelf space strategy. Sodium percarbonate handles all of it. One powder, one solution, every stain. You cannot build a $53 billion empire on a product that costs 10 cents a load. You cannot justify premium pricing when the active ingredient has been public domain since 1899. You cannot sell a stain remover, a booster, a whitener, and a sanitizer when one single powder does all 4. So what do? You bury the name. You never mention sodium percarbonate in your advertising. Instead, you dilute it to 3 or 5%, add fragrance, add blue dye, add a proprietary name, put it in a trigger spray bottle, and charge 8 times the cost. You create OxyClean and charge $14 for what is essentially sodium percarbonate, mixed with sodium carbonate and fillers. You add it to Tide at trace concentrations and claim advanced stain-fighting technology. You put it in Vanish and sell it as a breakthrough formula. The ingredient is the same. It has always been the same. They did not hide sodium percarbonate in a vault. They hid it in plain sight, behind brands, formulas, and marketing budgets worth billions. The average detergent commercial costs between $2 and $5 million to produce. The industry spends over $6 billion per year on advertising globally. $6 billion to convince you that you need 17 different products when you need one. Here is the part the industry truly dreads. Here is what to do. Step 1. Buy pure sodium percarbonate. Search for it online by name. A 5-pound bag from a reputable chemical supplier will cost you between $12 and $18. That bag will last the average family 6 to 8 months. Step 2. For general laundry boosting, add 1 tablespoon directly into the drum of your washing machine along with your regular detergent. Use warm water for best results, at least 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Step 3. For tough stains, mix 2 tablespoons of sodium percarbonate per gallon of warm water in a basin. Submerge the stained garment and let it soak for 1 to 6 hours. For heavy stains like dried blood or set in tomato, soak overnight. Step 4. For whitening yellowed whites, mix 3 tablespoons per gallon of hot water. Soak white garments for 6 to 8 hours or overnight. The active oxygen will restore brightness without the damage chlorine bleach causes to fibers. Step 5. For spot treatment, mix a small amount of percarbonate with warm water to form a paste. Apply directly to the stain. Let it sit for 15 to 30 minutes. Then wash as normal. 2 critical warnings. Never use sodium percarbonate on silk or wool. The oxidizing action can damage these delicate protein fibers. Always test on an inconspicuous area first when using on colored fabrics. Though it is generally color safe, some dyes are more sensitive than others. That is it. 5 steps. 1 product. Every stain in your house. No $12 spray bottles. No pods that cost 40 cents each. No specialty formulas for every fabric type. Just a white powder that a Russian chemist discovered over 125 years ago. A mother in Ohio shared online that she soaked her son's entire baseball uniform, caked in red clay and grass, in a percarbonate solution overnight. The next morning, she pulled out a uniform that looked like it came off the store shelf. She spent less than 15 cents on the entire treatment. The replacement uniform would have cost $65. That is the math the industry never wants you to do. Think about what we have uncovered today. In 1899, a chemist in Odessa created a white crystalline powder that breaks every stain it touches into nothing. It does this by releasing pure oxygen into fabric. It leaves behind only water, air, and soda ash. It costs pennies per load. It is safer than almost every commercial alternative on the market. It has been in the public domain for over 125 years. No patent protects it. No corporation owns it. No license is required to use it. And yet the average family still spends $170 a year on products that contain the same compound, diluted to near irrelevance and repackaged at 300% markup. We did not lose sodium percarbonate. It was never taken from us. It was just buried under $6 billion of advertising designed to make us forget it existed. But forgetting is not permanent. You now know the name. You know the science. You know the dosage. You know the cost. You have something the industry spent a century trying to prevent. The truth. If this vault opens something for you, subscribe and hit the bell. Every like tells the algorithm that this knowledge deserves to spread. Every share puts this in front of one more family spending $12 on a bottle of diluted hope. The soil of knowledge does not die. It waits. And the next vault opens soon.